Crypto has been effing pathetic in 2024. I keep hearing this all the time. It's time to sell these scam coins. Go all in on the S&P 500, baby. Let's go. But is there truth to this? I know the last few months, basically since March, have been pretty damn tough on crypto investors. And look, if you've all been all in on Bitcoin, then you're probably doing okay. But a lot of people are in on altcoins, and those have been pretty damn wrecked. But let's look at some of the numbers here. Let's try to actually ascertain fact from fiction here and to think what the heck is actually going on. And is there some truth to the matter that crypto has been a pathetic asset to be investing in 2024. So let's start off by taking a look at the big daddy. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually up about 37% this year. So Bitcoin's been doing fine depending on your time frames. If you were buying up here at $73,000, you're probably not loving the current price of Bitcoin so much. If you're a long-term dollar cost averager, someone who's been stacking Bitcoin diligently for years, you're probably sitting just fine right now, and you're loving $60,000 Bitcoin. You're locked in. You're doing fine, okay? Perspectives up 37% this year, even after the recent drawdown. Even at the worst bottom of the sell-off, we're still up 12% in a year, which is not bad and almost on par with the S&P 500, especially during the sell-off itself. So perspective here, things are not as bad as they may be perceived in markets. However, you do have to acknowledge the simple reality right now for the cryptocurrency markets. Bitcoin leads the way. Bitcoin is our North Star in these markets. Where Bitcoin goes, so goes altcoins. And look, we're in a downtrend. It's plain and simple. We had the initial peak here in March before the Bitcoin halving, about a month before the Bitcoin halving. Ever since then, we've just been putting in lower peaks, downtrend. Now, of course, currently struggling with the 200-day exponential moving average as an area of potential price resistance and price support. What do we need to see for crypto to get really, really exciting again? A breakout of 72K. Look, crypto's lame price action is lame until it's not. And the reality with Bitcoin, or the entire cryptocurrency space really, is that when things start cooking, it cooks like no other market on earth. That's why we're here. That's why we love it. Okay? But right now, things are the way they are. And we'll compare things to stocks in a minute. Ethereum, though, definitely going to take the award for lamest asset in crypto this year. So much expectation, so much hype. My bags. What is going on here, man? Holy cow. Ethereum ETFs came out, nothing burger so far. I still have high anticipation for that to have good impact going into the rest of the market cycle. But still, man, that has been a tough slog for Ethereum. Not even close to the 200-day exponential moving average, which is all the way up here at $3,000. Well, $300 away. I guess we're not that far, but still only up 12% on the year. So still decent if you, again, have been dollar cost averaging ETH for years and have a good cost basis, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You probably don't mind the current price action. You're just riding. But if you got sucked in up here at $4,000, you're probably hating the current price action. Perspective, again, right? Depends on if you're short-term speculating and FOMOing the tops here, or if you've been long-term stacking. Now, you compare this to the S&P 500, which is currently up 18% this year, gunning back to make new all-time highs in the not-so-distant future. Could end the year up 30% or something like that if, of course, there's not some major macro meltdown that happens between now and then. But here's some interesting perspective for you. Ethereum has underperformed versus the S&P 500 so far this year. Obviously, there has been much more price appreciation. We saw the price go from $2,000 or whatever, all the way up to $4,000. So there was a 100% price rally before a 50% price drawdown. The S&P 500 is a much bigger, much slower moving index, but year to date, Ethereum has underperformed versus the S&P 500. So that is kind of lame and pathetic. I mean, if you can't even keep up with the S&P 500, what are you doing? But reminder, Bitcoin has dramatically outperformed the S&P 500, right? We are up here around, let's put it in there, almost double the returns by holding Bitcoin this year compared to the S&P 500. However, again, you do have to keep in mind that a lot of people did buy up here. Whereas if you bought the S&P 500 almost at any point this year, you'd be currently be in profit, except for buying on these 4 days right here. So again, perspective is important. And I know what you're thinking. Lark, what about Nvidia? Come on. It is the new paradigm of money. Had I simply bought all my money into Nvidia at the start of this year, I would have outperformed Bitcoin dramatically. And that is true. It is true. This has had 4x performance versus Bitcoin this year. It's crazy stuff, right? $10,000 invested in Nvidia would have given you $16,000 in returns, whereas $10,000 in Bitcoin would only give you $3,700 in returns. Big difference. I know Nvidia is the new paradigm of money after all, but Nvidia is also an outlier. A lot of stocks have underperformed this year. A huge number of stocks have had a very rough year. So if you've been managing to pick the needle in the haystack here and find the few stocks that have not just outperformed the S&P 500, which are few and far between. Apple, for example, is basically up 17 or 18% this year, basically right in line with the S&P 500, not outperforming it. Or if you've managed to pick the few stocks or a few crypto coins that have outperformed Bitcoin this year, then you're doing super well. It's easy to lose sight of the forest from the trees here and think that everybody always perfectly bought Nvidia and sold the tops and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't really happen like that. But actually, crypto's doing just fine for a Bitcoin halving year. And you may not enjoy that perspective, but it's true. It's true. I know your altcoin bags are wrecked. Okay, more on that in a second. But real quick before we dive into that, just a quick note, if you're not signed up to the newsletter yet, you got to get checked out. Best damn newsletter in the cryptocurrency business. You'll find the link down below. You can join 140,000 weekly readers for free, may I add, getting all the latest, the straight dope, okay, on altcoins, meme coins, charts, analysis. We got news in there. It is a newsletter after all, airdrops, and much, much more. Link in the description or the pinned comment on X. Thank you very much. So look, here's some perspective for you. Altcoins are wrecked. It's been largely Bitcoin's market this year, $17 billion of ETF inflows, post-Bitcoin halving world, all that kind of stuff. Nothing super surprising here, really, when it comes down to it. Plus, you have so many new altcoins coming in all the time. We are reaching a situation where we're getting heavily diluted without adequate numbers of buyers coming in. Now, when we crack 72K for Bitcoin surges up to 100K or whatever, suddenly buyers will be back, right? Then Bitcoin and crypto are the best casinos in town. But right now, we have high, fully diluted coins with very low float, very high, fully diluted value numbers. These things are not doing super well in the current market conditions because there's no buyers for them. In bear market conditions or bearish market conditions, I don't think we're in a bear market, but let's say bearish market conditions, which are currently in, yeah, those coins are going to get their asses handed to them. Altcoins are getting mega wrecked for a wide variety of reasons. Meme coins are just sucking money out of the market. We've covered the pump.fun statistics. It's basically a slaughterhouse where the only people making money are pump.fun and some insiders. Everybody else is losing money, probably billions lost in that meme coin casino by this point. It's absolute insanity. And I know how you're feeling too, looking at the cryptocurrency markets. It makes you want to give up sometimes. You're looking, you see Nvidia, you're like, man, why am I even doing this crypto crap anymore? Just sell it all, buy some S&P 500. My life's going to be a lot better. I'll be much more chill. Look, Bitcoin outperforms. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Bitcoin outperforms, okay? Take your time horizons, move them out a little bit. Your Bitcoin bags will be fine. Your altcoin bags, I'm not so sure. And I got a lot of altcoin bags, believe me. I feel the pain sometimes. And sometimes it feels like with the crypto markets, we only correlate down. I know how frustrating it can be to watch the S&P 500 hitting new all-time high after new all-time high this year, just grinding higher, chatting like crazy. Bitcoin, we got 74K for like a few days, and then Ethereum, no all-time highs. Solana, nope. Let me just get my pen here. Helps me talk, man. Anyway, it's crazy. It's been crazy. I know, and that's tough. But again, perspective. It's always darkest before the dawn, or unless we have some kind of Armageddon, in which case it's been a pleasure playing music and whatever with you gentlemen as we arrange the deck chairs on the Titanic here. But I don't believe that's the case. I believe we're in a darkest before the dawn kind of scenario and that the best days of this market cycle are still ahead of us. Okay, we are in a post-Bitcoin halving world. Remember, normally you want to see about 6 months post Bitcoin halving before price action really starts taking off. So that brings us up to like October of this year before we should even have any real expectation that anything's going to get too exciting. So keep that in mind. That new high for the Bitcoin ETF hype, that was a mirage, a fugazi, wasn't real to an extent. The real supply demand mechanics are coming soon to the market in that post-Bitcoin halving. World 6 months after the Bitcoin halving, as supply grinds on massive demand. And look, the truth is, when Bitcoin goes to 72K, normies will come back. They'll start paying attention. When Bitcoin goes to 100K, normies will come back. They'll start paying attention. When they come back, what are they going to buy? Are they going to buy Bitcoin at $100,000? That's expensive, man. $100,000 for one coin. I'm going to go buy this dog coin instead. Because the truth is, whether you want to admit it to yourself or not, when crypto starts pumping, it's one of the best damn casinos in town. And people love it. We just need to break 72K first. Okay, crypto's not pathetic. Crypto is not going anywhere. Crypto is one of the most important innovational technologies built this century and will redefine the value layer of the freaking internet, guys. Okay? I know they put a hat on the dog, but that is not the new paradigm of money. That's just a casino coin. Can have fun with it. But look at what's actually going on here. Pay attention to the big picture. Crypto's not going anywhere, and probably the best days of this cycle are still to come. Thanks for watching.